Hey friends, over the next few months, I will be interviewing unique people who have great ideas on how to make radical changes in America's eating habits, boost awareness of our environment, and contribute to the economic health of our country. This is Meryl Kennedy, and this is my podcast. Welcome to Rise Up Your Bowl. I am so excited today because I get to introduce you to my sister and brother-in-law, Chantel and Ashley Dickson, and they're going to tell us a little bit about the farm. We're wrapping up harvest at Kennedy Rice, so it's the perfect timing. And I really think that our watchers and our consumers of Four Sisters want to hear about sustainability, about harvest, all the good things that we're doing. So I'm really excited to have them today with us. So the number one question that I want to ask, I guess, Ashley, to start with is, what's your biggest inspiration? Why did you choose farming as a career path?
Well, so I'm third generation farmer. I don't know for sure if farming, if I chose farming or it chose me. And I can remember watching my grandfather, which was Ray Dickson, and he was such an inspiration for me for his hard work, his good work ethic. Farmed a little bit in Cuba, was a prominent farmer back in the 50s. A lot of our organic structure that comes from now is what they practiced back in the 50s, trying to control grass with water. And it's real similar. So, yeah, I'd say my grandfather, Ray Dickson.
Love it. Well, how is harvest coming, Ashley?
So we're almost complete. We have 280 acres left of organic ratoon rice, which that's the second crop for you guys that don't know. And as the millings are holding up really well. The yields are a little questionable, but it's a good quality crop for, what would be saying a good healthy crop, milling wise.
Well, that's wonderful news. I know last year we were faced with many hurricanes, so
Oh,
I
yeah.
was pretty proud that we were able to end this harvest on a good note.
So for your farmers out there that are listening, this is the first year we haven't used a 1-inch cable to pull out these massive combines with bulldozers. So harvest has gone great. It's been a breeze. We've enjoyed it like you should.
So let's just talk about sustainability for a second for the listeners out there, because this is a really hot topic right now. And I just want to ask y'all, because this means a lot of things to a lot of different people. It's very controversial in many ways, but what does sustainability mean to you? And I know Chantel manages all of our sustainability, so maybe you can start.
Well, I would say, like you said, sustainability is such a broad spectrum, and it means so many things to all different people. And the way, and some people think that, organic makes it sustainable, and that's not true. But I would say that to me, it's about sustainability is creating and maintaining your practices that's going to help you, like, for years down the road, for your next generation and the generation after them. And if you look at it in a way of not just farming practices, or not just these big conglomeration businesses that, rule the world or whatever, not just them making small changes, but just you yourself, and each person makes a little small difference, whether it's in your everyday lifestyle,
Absolutely.
whether it's
Just
doing,
hold yourself accountable.
just to make that small in your workplace, turning off light switches, using one of the reusable bottles instead of water. I mean, it's simple. And I think everybody needs to, if everybody kind of looked into it more, looked into how they could, just small little things that each person could do in their everyday lifestyles, we could just make a bigger difference sooner for those generations to come. And I know that, what do you think, Ashley?
So, yeah, textbook definition is trying to conserve your natural resources so that your grandchildren, your great grandchildren will be able to, have access to our resources like we do. That's textbook. But if you take it a little bit further, sustainable, and it's true, Meryl, you kind of coined that phrase that it's been tossed around. It means so many different things to so many people. So I agree. What it means to me as an individual, as a farmer, trying to be a good steward of the land, holding myself accountable, saying what I mean what I say. Those are all old terms with farmers. They can relate to that. So if we do the right thing and we use less to try to make as much rice or more, then we're sustainable. That's it's integrity. So sustainable is here and it's going to stay and it's catching on like wildfire.
And it's kind of changing. We need to, we need to study up on it a little bit, because changing your mindset somewhat and stepping out of the habits that we have,
Absolutely.
that's
Yeah.
our biggest
Change
setback.
is good. Somebody told me once, change is good.
Change is good.
Right,
It's
that's right.
good. Nothing stays the same under the sun. Well, the U.S. farmer, in many ways, doesn't get a lot of credit, and we've been making huge strides to be more sustainable, right? Just to produce more, reduce cost for years. And it's just about telling that story, in my opinion, getting out there, understanding what that means, and then being able to show the data to prove that, and then making other small changes, to y'all's points, that
Right.
could be monumental changes. So we're, I know we're as a company very committed to being more sustainable, and
Making
to
that first
Chantel's
step.
point,
Yeah,
that's
make
right.
that first step, even if it's a small step. I mean, if we all do that, and then
That's right.
especially in our way of in the farming community, because it revolves around the environment, it makes a big impact in our.
Yeah.
Well, rice farmers in general have been so sustainable when they conserve their water, using the water that they do, the the waterfowl that comes in, annually. We have a great ecosystem with rice, especially with organic rice taken in another step. So how can you argue with a healthy food? It
That's
just
right.
makes sense. So that's
Yeah.
really what brought me over. And just kind of a shout out to your farmers. Hey, these guys work hard. We know it. Farmers and ranchers, they hold this world on their back, like Meryl, you and I were talking about before. During
Absolutely.
COVID, they were all on their own. You guys did great. They performed. It was business as usual. So have a special place in your heart for a rice farmer or farmers in general.
Wow. I
And the
think that
sustainability is catching on. It's not going to be a fad. It's here. It's here to stay.
It
Yeah.
is.
no, I have such an appreciation for farmers, and even probably more so even myself through COVID, because really I think most consumers understood how fragile the supply chain is, right? We're just all kind of used to going to the grocery store and buying food, whatever food we want. And it really does start at the farm level. And so that's so important. And to kind of add on that a little bit, what's your favorite part of being a farmer?
So my specific favorite part is harvest.
Okay.
And I think anybody that comes out and sees what I've called before, that golden sea of rice, that's special, it's magical. Being up early in the morning with the red burst of the sun and the purples in the cloud, just outdoors in general is really special. So overall, I would not do well in a 4x4 cubicle. Not at all.
Well, we don't want you in a cubicle.
I think
So
that people
don't worry
can relate
about that.
to that. Yeah.
Don't worry about that. So what's the best way to start your day?
So my favorite way is right at daybreak. And I just spoke to this, but when the sun first breaks and you have this burning, majestic sun that's peeping through, and then you get these rays that are coming through, that sets my stage, and that's some of my inspiration and what I like to start my day off with, because I get this masterpiece that's made by God. It's all natural, and when that sun comes up, it's true. I enjoy it coming up. So that's my inspiration.
I get to hear it from him because I'm probably still asleep.
I don't know if she's a day person.
I'm not a
person.
morning. No.
When I get up, I
I'm not a
whistle and have a good time, and they want to tell me,
I'm like
Wow.
pulling the covers over saying, no, it's too early. So,
What a beautiful way though to start your day. And
oh, I know.
it really is. inspirational to see that golden harvest. I totally agree.
Mhm.
So it's just something that most people don't get to experience. So,
Yeah.
so I'm going to end the podcast with y'all sharing your favorite rice recipe. As you know, Chantel, our sister Patches, loves to make recipes and to
Oh,
share
yeah.
them. And so we all have different cooking styles and different ways we like to prepare food.
We do.
But just wanted to ask you what your favorite is.
I'm probably more of the down home Southern cook, I guess, like, learn from mom. And I have some new recipes that I'll try, but I'm not like the gourmet chef. Patches can.
Yeah, I'm
do
going to
that.
leave that one to Patches too.
Yeah, and you've always been such a baker. I mean, you've like just done. I just remember even when you were little, just being such a baker of the family. But I would have to say probably with broccoli, cheese, and rice casserole. That's
Yum.
probably one of our favorite. We have it a lot, and with the holidays, it's almost like a staple that
Rice,
we have.
It goes so well with everything. You really can't go wrong with any dish.
Yeah, so I like that one, and my favorite one is actually from the Junior League of Monroe's Cotton Country cookbook.
Okay.
And it's just a simple recipe that it's easy to make. It's yummy. It's Patches. Now let me think. She will do a variation to this family favorite, and she will do heavy cream and like sauteed mushrooms, and in the place of like using the canned cream of mushroom or whatever, and makes it just even better. But she's, I mean, that she had kind of shared some of her, every now and then I'll get some of her trade secrets. And what I like about dishes like that is you can really put any vegetable, not just broccoli. You can put, asparagus or whatever, and add a little chicken, and you've got a whole meal. And
Right.
it's for those that are in a hurry. And I'm always, waiting to the last minute. I'm not one of those that plans my meals out for the week. I'm like, okay, what do I have in my fridge? What do I have in my pantry? So that's always.
Can you freeze that as well?
I believe, yes, I have frozen that before.
Okay.
And
that's a great holiday staple that you can make ahead.
Yes, you can make it ahead, and you can make it like what I like to do and what my girls like to do because they're being off at college. When I make a dish like that, I'll double it, and then I'll make extra and put it in the little reusable pans,
Great idea.
and I'll freeze it and take it to them at college, and then they think they've got a home cooked meal from mom.
Well,
they
they
love
do.
it. They ask for it. I'm like, hey, that's easy. That's an easy little gift I can give to you. And plus, make sure they're being fed well. But that's probably one of our favorites.
Well, I'm going to be expecting you to bring that to Thanksgiving now.
I will.
You've got me hungry.
You put cheese and rice with, absolutely, it's the best.
Yeah, I mean, you can't really beat that. Well, I can't think of a better way to celebrate harvest and to a great harvest season than to have you both on the show and to show my appreciation personally to the both of you and to all of our farmer families. I think that says a lot for all the people out there that make sure that we all are fed. And I appreciate y'all being on the show and love you both much.
And thanks for marketing the rice, Meryl. You're a valuable part of what we do. You make us look good, right?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know. You can't do much without the main ingredient.
It's a team effort.
We're just thankful for a good year that we've had this year. After last year with the hurricanes and with COVID, all the farmers were due for a good year this year.
Absolutely.
Anyway, so.
Well, viewers, go out there and rice up your bowl. And thank you all for being on the show today.
Yes. Bye.
Bye.